What's going on, baseball fans? How you doing? So, in today's video, I'm going to go over 5 reasons why I think the Red Sox could be for real. Let's get to it. First and foremost, the offense has been the driving force for this team. At the time of making this video, they currently rank first in WRC Plus and first in runs scored, and that's because everyone in the lineup is contributing. JD Martinez is back to his old ways, hitting .342 with 10 homers and an OPS of 1.098. Xander Bogaerts continues to be as steady as they come with an OPS of 963. Rafael Devers is second on the team in homers and has some of the best advanced numbers in the game. We also can't forget the guy that replaced Boston superstar Mookie Betts, Alex Verdugo, who's hitting over 300 and making things happen in the number 2 spot in the lineup. The offense is simply just so good on this team and should continue to be one of the better offenses in the game. The one thing that has really plagued the Red Sox in the last couple of seasons is starting pitching. In 2019, it was pretty much ineffective from the beginning, and in 2020, it was a complete dumpster fire with Martin Perez and Ryan Weber opening the season as the number 2 and number 3 starters. This season, though, things have changed for the better. In the offseason, Chaim Bloom didn't make any big splashes like bringing in someone like Trevor Bauer, but he made a couple of signings that have proven to be very valuable so far this season. He brought back Martin Perez for the back end of the rotation, who's been consistent so far. He signed Garrett Richards to a 2-year deal, and while he's had his ups and downs, he's sporting an ERA only a little bit above 4 at the moment. You could even go back further and look back at the trade that sent Brandon Workman to the Phillies and brought back Nick Pivetta, which in my opinion has been the best acquisition so far for this pitching staff. Through 6 starts, he has a 3.23 ERA and over 9.5 strikeouts per 9. I mean, hey, he even beat Jacob deGrom, I'm just saying. However, the biggest addition to this rotation has been the return of one of their top starters, Eduardo Rodriguez, who had a career year in 2019 but missed all of 2020 due to heart problems. Through 6 starts, he has an ERA below 4 and 9 strikeouts per 9. To sum it all up, though, the key has been that these guys are all making their starts. While they may not be throwing gems and going deep into games every night, you usually see them pitching into the 5th or 6th inning, which has helped set up their bullpen nicely, which leads to my next reason. Last year, the bullpen was heavily taxed due to the poor starting pitching. This year, though, because of the consistent starting pitching, we have seen this Red Sox bullpen be able to settle in more. Bloom added to the bullpen this past offseason, including guys like Garrett Whitlock, who has been a really big bright spot this year with a 1.56 ERA, Hirokazu Sawamura, who has over 10 strikeouts per 9, Matt Andriese, who's been effective in middle relief, and even though Adam Ottavino has had his struggles, he still has an FIP of 3.23 with over 11 Ks per 9. With these guys providing valuable innings, it's helped take the pressure off closer Matt Barnes, who has really settled into the closer role with 7 saves, 15 Ks per 9, and an ERA of 2.12. With the Red Sox not having much minor league depth to be able to turn to, one thing Chaim Bloom did this past offseason was bring in guys who can play multiple positions, such as Kike Hernandez, who's been a key contributor this season, as well as Marwin Gonzalez, who's had some key at-bats this year. They still have Michael Chavis, who was actually just called back up to take the place of Kike Hernandez due to a trip to the injured list, and they have Christian Arroyo, who's hitting .275 this year. This also ties into the return of manager Alex Cora, who showed in 2018 that when given the resources and the flexibility, he can plug guys into the right spots and push the right buttons. The biggest X factor of the entire 2021 season could very well be Chris Sale. After an ineffective 2019 season that saw multiple issues with his elbow, he eventually succumbed to Tommy John surgery. As of right now, though, he's working off a mound and should be starting a rehab assignment by June or July if everything stays on track. When Sale comes back, sure, there will probably be some rust to work off, but he's shown in the past he's been more of a first half guy, sporting an ERA of 2.8 1.82 in his career in the first half of the season, compared to an ERA of 3.33 in the second half of the season in his career. If the Red Sox were to enter the playoffs with a healthy Chris Sale, Eduardo Rodriguez, and a combo of Garrett Richards, Nick Pivetta, Martin Perez, and even Tanner Houck down in the minor leagues, along with the possibility of Bloom adding another arm by the trade deadline, the Red Sox could have some strong starting pitching in a pretty wide open American League in 2021.